Okay, this is our selection, our tarot card selection for the period November 1st to the 23rd, which will complement our transit of the grahas for the same period with my chart and with the tarot alignment. So here we go with the chakra wisdom cards, and let us see what this card is going to bring about for us. Let's see. And there we have it, complacency. Complacency is aligned to the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. So it is our foundation, our base, our stability, our grounding. And right now the card is telling us complacency. Would it be a problem or would it be an asset for us in this period? And let's look at the planet now, or the graha as we say in Vedic astrology. And as you know, I always shuffle and cut. I'm not a good gambler, so sometimes you'll see my mistakes. I leave it in because I'm just human. And here we have Pluto. And Pluto is one of the planets that isn't really not utilized currently in Vedic astrology. But it's there. We have found it. The research has given a lot of energies and significations to it. So I use it here at Zidam Astrology. And we are going to choose the bhava or the house now to see where we might focus our attention for this period, November 1st to the 23rd, 2022. And that house is house number 2. And house number 2 is all about communication, family, assets, speech, primary education, early education, so that all of these things are significations of house number 2. It's not a complete list, but it's just a few. The element that we are dealing with is earth, the earth element. So we have the earth trine, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So those are things that we need to look at and, just keep to the back of the mind. When I do this video, I don't go through in all detail because then that might be 2 or 3 hours for you. So that, I just want to give you a glimpse. Again, me and Butterfingers. You know how to expect it and we move on. So, but yeah, as I was saying, I like to give you different things. I like to give you a break up in a routine. I don't like to do routine things. That's boredom for me, and I believe it may be very well for you. And here we have Lord Kapila. Lord Kapila is the knower of matter and time, the elements. So that this is the deity that we have to look and see what is his impact or message to us for this period. And let me now select the cards through the messages that we're getting. Let us select the cards for the tarot spread. And my go-to tarot spread is the Tetractys spread. I've given you a history of it. And this is the selection for the period November 1st to the 23rd, 2022. And at Zidam Astrology, as I told you, I've done things differently. I've now created 2 separate videos, tutorials on the tarot trine and the transit of the grahas, making these videos that I put out shorter, and hopefully, that in your busy schedule you'll have the time to look at it and digest it and see what I do. And if it resonates with you, just give me a call and we will have a discussion. Just looking for the card holder for the cards here. Again, I'm just doing things differently. Instead of laying them out, I will just choose them and then we lay them out in the video. And here we have the foundation, the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. 4 of coins or 4 of pentacles, which is aligned to the Anahata chakra. Again, the star aligned to the Anahata chakra. So a lot of things with the heart. Here we have the 6 of cups, and that is the Sahara chakra. Then we have the Muladhara chakra again, the lovers. Interesting that it's not aligned to the heart. The heart chakra again, the wheel of fortune. And we're having a lot of outside influence. When I say outside, I mean the major arcana. Again, the hanged woman, which is the hanged man. You know, this is real external influences. So we seem to not have, again, the magician, we seem to not have control over this period that is the divine. The world. The world. My goodness, a lot of good cards, but what do they mean? These external influences, transformation, changes, some good things are happening, and it is completed with the King of Coins or the King of Pentacles. And these cards are really good cards, but what do they mean? There's a lot of things out of our control for this period. And let us see what is going to happen with all these major arcana cards. Okay, we have chosen the cards. Let us now look at the transit of the grahas, and we see that, as you would know by now or recognize, Saturn has not moved, Pluto has not moved, Neptune, Jupiter, Rahu, and Uranus has not moved. So has Ketu not moved. So who has moved? Moon has moved into Shravana Nakshatra, the air of listening, and Moon is in Pada 3 at 1714. Pada 3 is all about karma, so you might be thinking about the pleasures, the finer things in life. But Shravana is a moon-owned nakshatra, and Lord Krishna is the deity. So it's all about sustenance, maintenance, balance in your mind, in your thoughts, in your words. How do you bring that about? You know, and then we have Mars moving into Gemini from Taurus. Mars is at 125 Mrigasira nakshatra, and Mars is retrograde. And Mrigasira is a Mars owned nakshatra, so that Mars will be very comfortable, but in a retrograde position. Passion may be dimmed a little bit. Action may be holding back. You may feel that you can procrastinate a little bit and do that next time. You know, the ascendant is here in Hasta, the golden handed nakshatra in Pada 4, which is the Moksha nakshatra, where you might want to be a little by yourself, a little isolated, a little meditative, that kind of thing. But what I want to look at here, look at this Swati nakshatra. We have 4 planets, well, 3 planets and Ketu, which is the shadow planet or the node of the moon, here in Swati nakshatra. And to have 3 planets and the node sharing 13 degrees 20 minutes, which is the nakshatra span, really makes it a predominant. Everybody might be fighting and chaos. Sun, Mercury, and Venus is in this nakshatra, and Mercury and Venus are combust because they are within the degrees 14 and 10 respectively of Sun to be combust. So Mercury is at 1016 and Venus is at 1770, which puts them squarely before and after Sun at 1450, but they are all in Swati nakshatra. And Sun, Venus, and Mercury are in opposition to Rahu and Uranus, but Rahu owns Swati nakshatra. He is the Graha Lord for the Swati nakshatra, and Swati nakshatra is all about independence, all about it's called a self-going star, and the Lord is Lord Vayu, who is the Lord of air and wind, and he is the father of Lord Hanuman, so that there might be great strides that you want to make. And with Sun and Rahu here, you might want to achieve goals that could be a little bit out of your reach or unattainable at this time. And if you persist with this action where Sun is there, you might have to swallow your pride. And we have to recall the history of Lord Hanuman, who tried to swallow the sun thinking it's a fruit. And Lord Indra had to, kind of put him in his place and say, whoa, hold up there. No, that's not a fruit, that's the sun. So that you have to understand your leadership qualities at this time and allow conversations and dialogue so that, probably out of the way rebellion by juniors, does not happen to you. And Ketu there might assist with diplomacy in this nakshatra for you, but with Venus being combust, you may want to enter or exit relationships very quickly because Swati is a speedy kind of traveling nakshatra. It's also a chara nakshatra, a movable nakshatra, so that your relationships might be a little erratic. You might choose non-traditional persons who might be from foreign, and it could be foreign religion, foreign lands, foreign culture, so that your companion that you may choose this time may be not of the traditional view, and it may bring some upsets to maybe yourself and persons around you, because remember we also chose the second house, and that's family. And then Mercury is also combust, so your views regarding these relationships might be a little, as we say here in the Caribbean, bisquanky. It kind of all over the place. And you might want to have business dealings because this is Mercury we're dealing with. And Swati is in Libra Nakshatra, which is owned actually by, well, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is also combust. So that Mercury here would want to expand businesses, cross borders, but you may not be satisfied with that because you want to be independent so much in this nakshatra that you want to go and spread, and you don't understand the limits that you may have and the unattainable goals that Sun may be pushing you. And Rahu, remember, has a lot of strategy. He has no head though. So it's all illusion. He's the great deceiver. And Mercury being combust is not up to being rational and logical and capable at this time. So your independent attitude here through Mercury in Swati may create pitfalls for you in business dealings. And then, we had Pluto in one of the cards, who is the god of the underworld. And Pluto is the one that destroys and ultimately paves the way for creation and transformation. Pluto is a planet of transformation, and he's Virgotama, which is a blessing in Capricorn at 2.2 degrees as Chara and Cardinal. And if you align with Pluto in this way, then the outcome can only be victory. So again, we have um, expansion versus contraction here with um, the third aspect of Jupiter and Saturn continuing. Saturn is contraction, Jupiter is expansion. We still have that fight going on because although it is 24:30 Dhanishta and 5:29 Uttara Bhadrapada, Jupiter wants to do his duty. Also, Saturn wants to do his duty, and Jupiter is retrograde. So Saturn here in his own house and Jupiter in his own house is really still a continuing battle of expansion versus contraction. Who is the winner will be based on your chart and your specific information. And remember, I always remind you that Mahadashas come before transit of the grahas. Transits are always secondary to the dashas, and transits are calculated from the natal moon, which is why I have natal moon here as a reminder to you all that transit comes from the natal moon or ascendant, and that is why we need to know your specific information to know what Mahadasha you are going through and where your planets are posited. So let's look at the cards now that we have in the tetractys spread. And remember, the unity card here is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card that really tells you you're making your last stand. You are battle weary, but it appears in your reading for you to prepare for you to defend yourself. There's a sense of anxiety for you for this period and an expectation of trouble on the horizon. Probably something is going on with you, whether it's in a relationship, whether it is whether it is your finances, whether it is, something that you have to do, a new business deal, and you seem to expect trouble. Is it that your intuition is working overtime because the moon is there in Shravana? It's listening, but the moon says that, you have that mental balance, that mental capacity to understand and listen. Lord Krishna, the deity of Shravana Nakshatra, is going to give you that balance, that sustenance. So, um, one way or the other, your back is up and you are preparing to go into battle if necessary. You may feel very alone in the situation, and there's a possibility that you do not know who you can trust. And this is the foundation that you don't want to be caught off guard, but you may be caught off guard, and you may not see it coming and totally shocked by who is doing things to you or why they are doing it. So that you expect trouble. You are seeing little signs coming up, and probably that's the expansion and contraction between the dharmic duty of Saturn in his own house and Jupiter in his own home in Uttara Bhadrapada in Pisces. And Jupiter is retrograde, so Jupiter now is giving you a chance to learn what is happening, and probably to uncover secrets and be empathetic and sympathetic to others around you. Is it an ego trip with you? Is it that you don't have the sympathy, you only want action with this Nine of Wands, that you're not seeing those around you to give, kudos to people who helped you? Is it that you're aware that you are not giving kudos to those who were involved, and you are now wary that you're becoming a little suspicious of everyone, but the Nine of Wands also tells you that your initial reaction to keep to yourself and back off, for sake of self-preservation, might be a good one, and to assess the situation from a distance. The wands will give you a knee-jerk action, to take action and go out there and blast everybody. But no, don't do that, Rest assured, you do have supporters, but it is hard to tell who it is right now. But a key message from the Nine of Wands is don't take that natural inclination to retaliate. Patience and perseverance is asked of you, to wait and see what really is going on before you take any action. So yes, you might be battle weary, you have your back up, but hold up a little bit. Look around, understand the other cards, let us see what they are saying, and remember the other cards that we have chosen as a lot of external influences, a lot of major arcana cards, and what are they going to deal with for you. Take the higher ground at this point in time, and let's look at the power line and see what is happening. Let us look at the power line, and just a final thought on the unity card, the beginning card in Nine of Wands. It's a unity card. So, basic, the foundation. How do you bring things together? It's unity. It's not disunity, or something to say, an outrageous leader. It's unity. It's your foundation. And the power line is, light, which is the sun and the cosmic laws of creation, and the moon, which is dark, and I look at it as the waning moon. And for the moon, the dark and the chaos, you have the consequences, which is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles tells us that money has always been a big issue, and you have not been wasteful, but the pressure is off, because where money is concerned, you are currently secure, and not just for today or tomorrow, but for the long-term financial situation. It looks stable. You have plenty to go around, so stop worrying. And money could only be, it doesn't have to be, paper money or coins. It can be some assets that you have. You may have a home, you may have a car, you may have a job, a career. You can have support, so that you have resources that will help you and enable you and support you. Because the Nine of Wands told you that while you have this, this suspicion and anxiety about support, the support is there, so that the Four of Coins is also telling you that enjoy yourself a little bit, um, don't have something that you can't enjoy. So spend it a little bit, don't overspend or be extravagant, but it does not mean that you have to spend it all. But it certainly should give you a little bit of happiness and comfort in life, and not kept under tight guard and hoarded, because you have that fear, that it's going to finish, because probably you came from a background that didn't have enough, that you had too many children or extended family in the home, and it was always just there or barely there for you. So that this Four of Coins is telling you, you know, the consequences of you holding on is not going to bring you the happiness that you want or the unity that you want. And the sun, the light, the conflict is with the star. And the star beckons for you to keep hope alive. You will figure out a situation to any current crisis, and you will soon devise your exit strategy for maximum success. So this is the power line with the moon and the sun. And remember, the moon is your mind, the sun is your physical ego, your power, your leadership. So it's telling you, don't be greedy. You will figure out a situation. The star is going to give you hope to keep it alive, to understand that your money, your finances are going to be stable in the long term. And then we come to the harmony line. And the harmony line starts with what needs to be removed. And this is again a moon. And while the Four of Coins is the waning moon, this moon is the Shukla Paksha moon, the waxing moon. And the Six of Cups in tarot stands for goodwill, in a sense, thinking about your past, your childhood, nurturing, caring. And the Six of Cups is a simple um, goodness in you, but there might be violence and anger and dishonesty in the world. But the opposite is also true, and that violence and anger and dishonesty is feeding the Nine of Wands here for you to be suspicious and anxious and having your back up. But the Four of Coins and the Nine of Wands and the Six of Cups are telling you there is good. Think back about a time in your childhood that can bring you happiness, that can represent what encourages you to be kind and forgiving and generous. You know, Lend your air or your car or your home to a friend to fill in. They may be homeless at this point in time. Lend a helping hand. Assist your co-worker who might not be feeling well, or who may be pregnant at this time and needs a little hand to go to the bathroom, to go to their home. Be a little friend at this point in time. These are small gestures, but they are important. Maybe you've been thinking about an old friend, or you've been spending more time, reminiscing, but the Six of Cups represents children and family. And remember, we also chose the second bhava, the second house, which is about family, early childhood. So the Six of Cups is aligning to that card also, you know, and the expansion and contraction of the aspect between Saturn and Jupiter is also giving you that kind of tug of war, that, to and fro, willy-nilly kind of behavior. And if you've been struggling recently, this Six of Cup encourages you to find support in your loved ones. And then we have the Lovers. What helps you maintain balanced life? And the Lover tarot card is ruled by Gemini, which is a Mercury ruled graha sign. And it speaks to the immediate environment, what is around you, your siblings, your neighbors. What about your communication, um, your communication in publishing, sales, letters, technology. It speaks of the dualistic side of humanity, male, female, yin yang. It also speaks of your ability to gather and communicate information. And we have Mars there, and Mars but is there in retrograde. So communication might come through. Venus wants to give you the good things in life, the finer things in life, but Venus is combust in his own sign in Libra but is in Swati Nakshatra, which is kind of independent. So the lovers here, tells you that Mercury in Gemini has many gifts to offer, especially, as it promotes curiosity and humor. So that while Mars may want to give action, Mercury wants to promote humor, and Venus here in Swati wants you to have relationships, but might be a little speedy, as I've said, in exits and entering, so that you need to look at the union. It is a card for enlightenment and communication, and being intellectually nourished as well as emotionally fulfilled, to find your match, to find your partner, to find a job. And in finding your partner and your community and your job, you must first get to know yourself and others around you. And the tarot card, the Lover's Tarot card, encourages you to go out there and find yourself, follow your passions, try different things and learn by opposites. So it's telling you that while Venus is in Swati and wants to speedily enter or exit, the card, the Lover's card, is telling you take time, you know, take time and learn about yourself, learn about others, try different things, see what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because only then you can really know who you are and what you want. And by doing what you don't want, you might find what you want to do. You know, it's kind of a juxtaposition, it's kind of an anomaly, but it can work, and you might find that you are compatible with things or not compatible with things and person. This way you will find out what you need and what you can attract, or what you have that can attract the best partner for yourself. So this is the lesson from the card of Mercury and the Lover's card with Venus and Mercury in Libra. And then we have the Creator card, which is Phallus, the what drives you in your direction. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is generally an indicator of luck or destiny, and it signifies change. And when the Wheel of Fortune appears, it means that big changes are coming, and these changes should be for your greater good. But remember, not all changes are easy, even if it's leading you to your destiny. And remember what we said, transit of the grahas are your destiny that you can change. Your fate, which is your natal chart, you cannot change. So that your destiny here is saying that your harmony line, it's two major arcana cards dealing with your childhood, dealing with some changes, dealing with your relationship, dealing with you understanding others and taking the time to deal with others. And you may be pushed to do this because two cards are out of your control here, the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. And you can't do anything about it because change is coming and you have no say in it. When you pull this Wheel of Fortune card, it suggests that you have the support from the universe to take control of your destiny and do what's necessary to have the life that you truly want. So it's a positive and encouraging card to get, especially when you're feeling stuck or nervous about change. The card is giving you the okay to start a new cycle in your life. So this harmony line is telling you, encouraging you, that the Nine of Wands, yes, you're battle weary, you have your back up, you want to take that last stand. But it is a stand that is well thought out. It's a stand that will give you that balance, that harmony. The universe is there to support you. Change is coming. You can't do anything about it. And probably that contraction, expansion between Jupiter and Saturn again is what is giving you that battle weary feeling. The predominant Swati Nakshatra, where you want to move forward, self-going, independent, you want to travel, you want to increase your business, you want to spread yourself, because you want to be on the move, because this is the nakshatra that has four grahas in it at this point in time. The harmony line is telling you to gain that balance. You need to take your time, look at things around you, don't make quick judgment, don't retaliate, have a knee-jerk reaction when people come at you. Look at them, understand them, take a step back, try to look at their motivation for their behavior and your motivation for yours, and work with that. It might be a better understanding. And the outcome in the material world for you, it's going to start with the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is all about coping with everyday life. And we have Saturn here. And Saturn is in the Nishta nakshatra, which is, the star of symphony. It's all about you listening to music and enjoying it and having that music that fills your soul. And what fills your soul in coping with your everyday life? It's a strong message from the universe that the option of surrendering is always open to you. It might, in fact, be the quickest way to complete and total victory for you to cope with everyday life. Hanging in balance. A man is upside down on him, in this case, a woman, and the right ankle is tied to a tree, and his torso spans the length of the trunk. So you're awake and alert, staring at who's looking at you, who's taking this picture of you, and your leg is bent at the knee, saying that it's crossed behind, but you are comfortable. Your hands are not visible here. It's behind your waist, so you are quite comfortable. This hand here is hanging down, freely. You can put it anywhere. In the normal rider weight card, you will have the hand behind the back of the guy, of the hanged man. But most interestingly, there's a halo that we see in medieval paintings of saints, where the hair, stretches downwards and it's obscuring the top of the spiritual crown. So the hangman has put himself in this position, and there is no way he can win. And yet, the halo lets us know that he might be about to claim a victory, a big victory. He is not being attacked. He was not forced to be where he is. He's not, disheveled. He's very well dressed and comfortable. And it's, he's hanging upside down due to simple gravity. So he's not letting us see his manipulation of the situation. He's telling us he's quite comfortable even though he's helpless. So that you are coping with everyday life by just being there and looking at what your work has brought for you, the rewards. You are looking at the situation and you are manipulating it behind your back. You are looking at the situation to see what is in front of you. They are not seeing what you're doing, but you are doing things. You are coping with it. And what is the other cards that we are hearing? Because it all goes on into the material world, and we have three major arcana cards, and with the exploration of the emotions, you have Venus card here, which is the magician. And the magician tells you it's a card of amazing potency, and this is about how you explore your emotions. This is an indication of your wishes being granted because you take the time to earn everything you want. And this again, the card is telling you, take your time. The universe is there to support you. You don't, yes, you battle weary, your back is up, but harmony line is telling you, take your time. And now the material line is also telling you, take your time. It is also out of your control. You will be forced to take your time because the magician represents, a manifestation of your desires and your visions. You want what will arrive in the future when you follow the necessary course of action. You will no longer have to dream about it. You will have become exactly who and what you wanted to be. And the air trine is telling you the world. What are your current thought and strategies concerning your goals? And it's a Jupiter card, the world. And Jupiter is giving you that chance now to work in sequence with him because he is retrograde. And the World Tarot card is the final card of the major arcana, or the tarot trump sequence, and represents unity and wholeness. So you start off with the Nine of Wands as unity, and you're ending predominantly with the world, with unity, and the world comes before travel and total fulfillment. So you might go to another village or another community, another land, another job, but you will get fulfillment. And when this card appears in your tarot reading, it means that your highest goals are soon to be achieved and it is time for you to flourish. So this is your strategy, your goals, your thoughts concerning your current strategies. And despite the difficulties and hardships you've encountered, you stood strong and persevered, and the seeds that you have planted are now blooming and you are reaping the fruit of your labor. This is what the world is telling you. Everything has come together and you are in the right place, doing the right thing, achieving what you have envisioned. And the King of Pentacles or the King of Coins is the will, ambition, and creative force. It's Mars behind your fire in the material world. And the King of Pentacles combines the outward focus of a king with the positive, stabilizing, productive, and reliable the qualities of earth. It can be quantities too, because earth is all about resources, all about the material world. And the King of Pentacles is an earth card, and it can turn his hand to, just about anything and everything as he approaches it in a sensible and practical manner. He is a hard worker who does not mind getting his hands dirty. He likes to do the basics to create that foundation, to give that career the boost and the stability and reliability, to produce new things and craft and invent that he can be successful worldwide. And while the Nine of Wands wants to push forward and Mercury wants to push forward with business dealings in Swati Nakshatra in Libra, the King of Coins is telling you that, be the King of Pentacles, be the King of Coins. He's very hands-on and will take over with ease. If your partner wants to take a rest, he's a staunch traditionalist that believes in tradition, that believes in the traditional values of hope and growth. And this is what the King of Coins is telling you. The meaning of the card can vary, but it typically indicates that, you are in a good place and has potential for great things. And the energy cards we had was Pluto, and we dealt with Pluto. Pluto is in Uttara Ashada Nakshatra in Pada 2, which is Vargotama. It's a card of transformation and change. It's a card that is giving you some blessings at this point in time. And it means that you will never be fulfilled by the dreams of others. Have your own dreams. Consider how you might refine your dreams. Stop procrastinating. It is a card that you need to find self-nourishment. So, rest, go within, consider your heart's desires and dreams, and be daring. Reclaim a little bit of your own self-fulfillment with Pluto. And we have complacency. And complacency is telling you don't live the dreams of others. The chakra wisdom, it's telling you don't live the dream of others, live your own dream. This card is a warning not to give up. Beware of coasting along in a situation that is not what you really want. So again, the Nine of Wands, you're a little battle weary, you have your backup. You don't want to be that way, because the power line is telling you, the star is there for you. The Four of Coins is there for you. Your financial future in the long term looks really good. Don't try to push the dream of others. What is your dream? Don't be complacent by just receiving or giving only. Receive and give to get that harmony, that balance. But dream your dream. The complacency card again, like Pluto, indicates a need to find self-nourishment. Consider what you are doing. And then last period we also had Lord Kapila, and Lord Kapila continues here for this period. And we talked about Vedic tradition, because Kapila Muni is one of the 12 leading authorities, as I said the last time, in Vedic tradition. His system of spiritual knowledge, Sankhya, forms an important part of India's philosophical heritage. The Bhagavad Gita depicts, the Kapila as a recluse associated with the siddhas, or the yogic dreams, and the system attributed to Lord Kapila is closely associated with yoga, you know, and the Hindu mythology regards Kapila as a descendant of Manu, the primal human being and grandson of the creator god Brahma, who is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. So that, you know, we need to look at what we are doing, who we are listening to, and we need a little bit of spiritual guidance, meditative yogis who are giving us the real truth in this time, you know. And because if everybody becomes a worker, then you'll have nobody guiding you. We won't have any gurus or teachers. So we need to look in this Kali Yuga time, in this difficult age, we need to find a really qualified guru or Brahmin who can help us. You know, we have short lives, and who can help us in this age to understand our spiritual being. So, Lord Kapila, being the knower of matter and spirit, gives us that guidance to do a little introspection at this point in time. Do a little meditation. Look into yourself. What are your dreams? What do you want to fulfill? Because it's only if you are happy can you make others happy. You can't make others happy when you are not happy. And if you are not fulfilling your dreams and receiving that self-nourishment, then you are not going to move away from that battle-weary stance with the Nine of Wands. And the earth here is telling us reliability, stability. Jupiter is giving you that chance to rethink, relearn the lesson that we may not have learned last period. Jupiter is retrograde and giving us that chance to boomerang forward by lessons learned and being reliable and stable. Mars is currently in his own nakshatra in Mercury in Gemini and retrograde. So Mars himself is giving us a redo in terms of the action that we want to take. And I spoke about the second house, and the second house here tells you exactly what the cards tells you. Patiently, you know, what you want, get what you need and what you want in a patient manner. You know, your resources, what you value, your beliefs, you know, what do you believe in? Put yourself first right now. Put yourself in front of your family at this point in time so you can help your family and be a better person for your family. This is what the second house is telling you. So, you know, these are the cards that we are looking at. These are the transit of the grahas, and they are all aligning as you are seeing. And this is a message that I am here to give to you from Zidam Astrology for this period, November 1st to the 23rd, 2022. Okay, you know, at Zidam Astrology, I always give thanks to Bhagwan for guiding me, for blessing me, for giving me the knowledge and resources to bring messages to you. And I hope that you have learned something as always. I have separated my tutorials now into separate slides, and you can look forward to the transit series and the tarot series tutorials as new videos. Thank you once again for viewing. Thank you for watching. I hope that all is well with you and all continues to be well with you.